What is going on, everyone? My name is Jesse, and this is the auditorium where I react to video game music as a musician myself. Today is the return of Furi. This is requested by Aaron, and this one is composed by Danger. The song is called 624. Looks like a time format. It's been a while since I've done Furi. I've actually had one of the composers check out my channel, Night, so big shout out to them. The only thing I remember from Furi is that it has multiple composers, it's very electronic, and the sound is insane. So if you have headphones, I definitely recommend listening to this. Although I have no idea how this song is going to sound, I can pretty much safely assume it's going to be pretty amazing. Let's go. Furi 624. Go. Sounds like a dirty record. There's like that crackling. Sounds glitchy on purpose. Ooh. Damn, so much signal. Oh, it cleared up. The signal got really clean. Oh, that's weird. But cool. I like the rhythm changes. You don't know where it's going. Ooh. This is devious. Oh man. It's like a theme park for my ears. Unpredictable. You ever just listen to something and are not really sure what happened? Now, mind you, my brain currently is in a very confused state of bliss and confusion. Now, I knew what I was getting myself into when I saw Furi, but even then, I didn't really know, because multiple composers, different, it's just one of those crazy experimental electronic soundtracks, but it can go anywhere. Like, the sky's the limit with this kind of stuff. And boy, first of all, it's called 624. As vague as you can get. So who knows what that means or what time that's referring to or something. Second, the song was made in a kind of... It was made almost as if you were meant to talk about it afterwards, like I'm doing right now. Like you were to show it to a friend or something, or even the first time you hear it, you're like, what the hell is this? I could definitely see like this being a talking piece, like, hey, dude, check this song out. And just see them kind of just, kind of like, I think the old expression was like water cooler talk, something like that. This is like the VGM equivalent to like water cooler, because you talk about it the next day. This is clearly a very talented individual. You don't make stuff like that if you suck. You can't produce stuff like that if you're not good. And you absolutely cannot mix something like that if you don't know what you're doing. That is pure skill and hours and hours and hours of honing your craft. And I'll even go as far as to say that, I'm a believer that not everybody is just born with a talent. Everybody can just learn. Some people are gifted and they can, start playing piano at like 4 years old or something like that. That's fine. But anyone can learn. I feel like this is such a specific style, and this is no shade or anything. It's just what I get from it. It is my reaction, after all. But I feel like this composer in their youth, when they first started, was nowhere near this good. And they probably were terrible. And I know it sounds weird, like, how can you say that? But think about it. Like, they paved their own way. They did their own thing. They didn't follow rules and just made the sounds they wanted to hear. By most people's standards, they would probably find that kind of uncomfortable and a little jarring. And it is. But it sounds so good, and it's so different that you kind of can't help but appreciate the art and time it took. That's what I'm getting at. And if this composer ever sees this, I'm very curious what they had to say about that, because I can almost sense that they would be like, oh yeah, dude, my first couple of songs were total trash or something like that. And I can see it. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't know. It's just what I gathered from all that. Now, with all that being said, the song itself is very glitchy. It's very experimental. They cut off noises. They add noises. They add noises that don't sound good here and there. Like, it started with this kind of old record sound, which sounds like dirt. But it sounded even more than that. It sounded kind of grittier. There was rhythm stops that add tension, but kind of came out of nowhere. There was a lot of swells. There was a lot of everything, right? A lot of knobs were being turned. The synth sounded incredible in every aspect. The percussion sounded incredible. But basically, this was just I feel like this was just kind of a like avant-garde painting. Just, this is danger in this case. and it's more of like a showcase of what they can do. And I'm very curious with artists like this. I'm very curious what they think is their best work. As someone who writes music, people have told me like what song they like that I've made, and it's, as an artist, we have our favorites like that we've made. We might even have our magnum opus that we think is like untouchable. I have one, but I wonder like what theirs is. That's always a very interesting topic to me, is if you can find a way to speak to these people and just straight up ask them like, what is your favorite song? And then try to listen to that and dissect as to why. Why does this person that you like this specific thing, why do they like this specific thing? I like to think, if you haven't noticed, I like to kind of decipher quite a bit. But that's what I get. So, great song, weird as hell. Very artistic person, very talented person. This whole game. I don't know how the hell the developers found these people. Are they related at all? Like, do they have a group? Do they just know each other and they just recommend? I don't know. But I'm going to go as far as to say that Furi's soundtrack is totally underrated. In this whole time that I've been doing videos, people talk about Furi very here and there, but not enough. I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think Furi's soundtrack is completely underrated and insane. Even if you're not like super into EDM or electronic or trance or house or whatever, this kind of soundtrack can kind of like convert you. I would think. And there's probably people watching this that are like, oh yeah, I never listened to that stuff, and then I played it and like, okay. So, I'm ranting, but this is great. Everything I've heard from Furi is great. Please let me know what 624 means. Let me know what Danger is also known for. Do they have a solo stuff? I'm very curious. And let me know about Furi. I don't know about Furi either. Where does this play? And it's a very weird game that I'm always going to look forward to, but I'm always going to be very confused about. Underrated soundtrack, for sure. All right. Thank you, Aaron, and thank you to you watching. All the Patreon members that you see supporting me. Thanks to my Platinum members on Patreon that get priority requests. That is Kevin, Patrick, Terry, Vanadel, Callanan, Gardelane, Pepita, Justin, Knox, and Triad 101. Until next time, dudes and dudettes, my name is Jesse in the auditorium.